Participatory service. We are now going to stand and we are going to sing this song. For thou, O Lord, art above all the earth, and thou art exalted high above all else. For thou, O Lord, art high above all the earth, and thou art exalted high above all gods. I exalt thee. We exalt you, Lord. I exalt. We lift you, mighty God. I exalt thee. Oh Lord. I exalt thee. I exalt thee. I exalt thee. Oh Lord. Let's give the Lord a praise. Joseph, come say we worship us. And let me praise the Lord. Let me worship the Lord and they won the battle. Hallelujah. Because he said the battle is not yours. It is the Lord. Amen. You may be seated. Thank you, Jesus. Our next presenter comes in the person of our brother Sean Grant. I now invite him to come.
Praise the Lord. Praise God. Thank you, Jesus.
Morning, church.
Morning.
He will be talking about is Gideon. I believe his name means brave and mighty, as he was called by an angel. The story can be found in Judges 6 to 8. 6 to 8. Before we start, let us pray. Lord, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and redeemer.
Bless God. Hallelujah.
As most of us already know, that ever since the Lord used Moses to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, out of bondage, they have been very ungrateful. They would turn from God and worship idols and do all manner of evil. God would punish them, and when they couldn't bear it anymore, they would cry out to God and ask for forgiveness, and He would forgive them and give them victory over their enemies. Now, this was one of the times when the Israelites sinned against God, and He allowed the Midianites to rule over them for 7 years. And they did devastate the Israelites, from destroying their crops to stealing their livestock. So one day, Gideon, who was an Israelite and the son of Joash, was threshing some wheat secretly in the winepress, so the Midianites would not see him. Then an angel of the Lord appeared to him and said, "The Lord is with you, brave and mighty man." Gideon was a little doubtful and questioned the angel about why the Lord left them to the mercy of the Midianites, after he has done so much good to their forefathers. Then the Lord ordered him to go with all his strength and rescue Israel. Gideon was doubtful, like most of us. So he tried to make excuses and ask for signs one after the other. I guess he wanted to be sure that God wanted to use him. His first heroic act was when the Lord told him to take 2 bulls and tear down the altar the people made to worship Baal, and cut down the symbol of the goddess Asherah beside it, and build a well-constructed altar to the Lord there, and offer sacrifice. Because he was afraid, he waited until night. He took some men with him and did as the Lord told him to. Very brave indeed. Sure enough, the people were furious when they found out, and they seek to kill Gideon. But his father defended him by saying that they should let Baal defend himself if he is a god. And since it was his altar that was torn down, so the Midianites gathered themselves against the Israelites. Another heroic act was when the Lord sent him to battle the Midianites. The Spirit of the Lord caused them to gather the tribes of Israel and join him. The Lord did not want him to use too much men to fight the battle, or they would think that they won because of their numbers. So he eliminated them, leaving 10,000. That was still too much. So after a test, 700 more went home. This left 300 men. Gideon did as the Lord commanded and divided them into 3 groups. He gave each man a trumpet and a jar with a torch inside. When they got to the edge of the Midianite camp, they blew their trumpets and broke the jar and shouted, "A sword for the Lord and for Gideon." The enemy became so afraid and frightened, they started to attack each other. Gideon and his 300 men then attacked and killed and chased the others. Gideon sent a message to the other tribes of Israel to hold the borders so the Midianites could not escape. They came out in their numbers and pursued them and killed every single one. Once again, God answered the cry of his people. He forgave them of their sins, and they won and gave them victory over their enemies. This time, a brave and mighty man called Gideon. He went from being a doubtful and coward farmer to being a brave hero for the Lord. God bless you.
Pastor Sean, God bless you. Oh, faithful God. Oh, faithful God. You lift me up while you alone I go. You get me out. You dry my eyes. You're always there, for you're a faithful God. Oh, faithful God. Oh, faithful God. You lift me out while on you alone I call. You get me out. You dry my eyes. You're always there, for you're a faithful God. One more time. Oh, faithful God. Oh, faithful God. You lift me up while on you alone I call. You get me out. You dry my eyes. You're always there, for you're a faithful presenter is our sister Larissa Gordon. Let's make her welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Let us pray. Dear Lord, help me to deliver your word unto your people. Amen.
Yes, Lord.
Alright then, so I'll be speaking to you about the only female judge, Deborah.
Yes.
Deborah was a very strong woman of God. And she's very special because in those days, you know that women were very much just like housewives. So she was a very powerful woman of God, and she was also very brave. So Deborah was a prophetess and the judge of Israel. That was after, I think, Ehud had died. And she reigned during the time when King Jabin of the Canaanites had oppressed the people of Israel. And the reason why he had oppressed the people of Israel, because once again the people did bad in the sight of God. And as we all know, once you do evil in the sight of God, He's going to punish you. So he oppressed them for about 20 years. And the people were just so tired of it, they cried out. So at the time, they could not endure it any longer, so they bawled out to God and begged Him, God, just deliver us. So Deborah the prophetess, no, she normally dwelt under a tree called Deborah. So I guess it's because she would always dwell there, that's why they named it after her. That's why I said, palm tree, Deborah. Alright then, so one day she called out this man named Barak, the son of Abinoam, and said unto him, had not God of Israel commanded you to go and draw towards Mount Tabor 10,000 men of the tribe of Naphtali and Zebulun? So Naphtali and Zebulun were the children of Jacob.
Yes.
We don't normally hear about them. So, and she said that she would tell Sisera, who was the captain of the king of Jabin's army with 900 chariots and his multitude, and she would deliver Sisera into the hands of Barak. Okay. So right now, Barak was afraid. Why he was afraid? Because King Jabin had, as I said before, 900 chariots. And apparently chariots were something very scary. And he was afraid. So he told her that if she would go with him, he will go. But if he did not go, if she didn't go, he would not go as well. We showed that Barak was a coward, or he didn't have a mind of his own. So he had to depend on the woman. And the fact that he had to depend on the woman means he's a little coward because you know men are supposed to be powerful and brave. But he had to depend on Deborah, the woman, the prophetess of God. Say from your prophecy, I don't know what to say. This lady is strong, powerful, hearing from God. Alright, and so she told Barak that she would surely go with him, but reminded him that he's not going to take the honor. He can't take the honor because she'll go with him now. And because God have a deal with it. So she told him, say, the Lord God will deliver Sisera into the hands of a woman. Mighty general destroyed by a woman. So Barak gathered the 10,000 men upon the mountain, while Sisera gathered his men by the river. Deborah, the leader now, told him to move towards the river from the mountain, and she already told me. Deborah was the leader, and so she told Barak's men to move down from the mountain to the river, and reminded them that the Lord had already delivered Sisera into the hands of the woman. So before the battle even started, she told them that Sisera was already delivered into the hands of the woman. So they were already won the battle, and they don't even start it. Alright then, and the Lord caused, so when they went into battle, the Lord caused them to be defeated, Sisera's men to be defeated. So Sisera realized that he's defeated by the children of Israel now. Run off by chariot and run on his feet. That's how strong the battle was, that he had to come off the chariot, which was supposed to be faster. He had to run on his feet. So Sisera, when he ran into the tent of a woman called Jabel. Now Jabel was the wife of this king who was a friend of Jabin. So he thought he would be safe, but never go so. So when he thought that he was safe now, he was so tired that he asked the lady for some water, but instead she gave him milk, which now let him trust her more. So he told her that so she covered him with a cloth, right? And he told her not to tell anyone that he was hiding there and that she was supposed to go and stand watch. But because Sisera was so tired, he fell asleep. So when Sisera thought that he was comforted, that he was safe and everything, sudden destruction fell upon him. Jabel, the wife of the king of his friend, or king of Jabin, said while he was asleep, she got a nail and a hammer and she nailed him in his ears to the ground. In the Bible it says temple, and I didn't really know what temple was. But while he was sleeping, it was in his ears and she nailed him to the ground. So after when she nailed him, he died because nailed him in his ears to the ground. So then when Barak pursued Sisera, Jael met him at the tent and she told him, "Come and I will show you the man whom thou seekest." And he saw Sisera laying dead on the ground. So eventually God had subdued king of Jabin, Canaanites, under the strong leadership of Deborah and the prophetess and judge. So the children of Israel prospered and prevailed against King Jabin until he destroyed him. They were so happy that Jabin and Barak, that Deborah and Barak, they wrote a praise song. So this can be found in Judges 5. I will not read it, that is your job to go home and read the praise song. So in conclusion, Deborah was a strong, brave woman of God.
Yes.
And she was fearless. And if it was not for her, Barak would not have had the courage to take on King Jabin. So what we're trying to say is now, guys, we need to be brave and we need to depend on God, and we should not be fearless because God will fight the battles for us. Because even before they fought the battle, she already told them that King Sisera would have been delivered into the hands of the woman. So guys, just believe and just have faith and be fearless. And she was also a heroine like Nanny of the Marine.
Bless the Lord.
Bless the Lord. Can we stand together as we sing this, the hymn, the battery? Keep on the fiery line.
If you're in the battle.
Everybody stand. If you're in the battle for the Lord, right? Keep on the fiery line. Come get the tambourine and everything. Today is a day of rejoicing. Amen. If you're in the battle for the Lord, right? Keep on the fiery line. Come on together. If you feel like running, girl, you must fight. Keep on the fiery line. There are many days that we all must face. Every day you're fighting, there is no disgrace. Our Lord is eternal, we're crying out, praise God. Keep on the fiery line. Oh, you must fight, you raise against all evil. to praise the Lord this morning. Aren't we on the fiery line? Hallelujah. You may be seated.